Hello everybody, welcome in to the Overwatch Clash Season 7 Week 2 matchup between the British Blahajs and the Swedish Fish. We do kind of jumping right in the action here as we did a bit late production, late start here on the match as well, with Invictus having to make his way across the MSU campus to find a PC to ring for Shoreline Pie. Should be an exciting game here. Blahajs, of course, coming off a hot 3-1 win, and the Fish looking to bounce back after a 3-1 loss in their Week 1. So, both these teams here on Nepal, kind of poking and prodding here. Fish on the point on that Reinhardt. Raiders locking on down with a shield, with a hazard spike to try and put some pressure in on the off angle. Still, a very slow point to catch here. Biggie stretch falling very low. Has to back up with spike falling early here. That allows the Fish just run out of this point here. And Bitch is finding some shots on the high ground as well. Transflight trying to get a pick, but this looks like it will just be the point in favor of Fish and Staggers here as well, as they continue to clear the kill feed. Invictus, the ringer, fresh from the walk across campus. Looking warm already. Go for it here. Void Player taking a decent amount of damage here before the fight really even breaks out. Has to use that dig fairly earlier, so down a crucial Venture cooldown on the high ground. They are kind of trying to have Silvertail's march over on this off angle over on the left side with Invictus and Tanpy looking at that Ana. Trendfleck falling very low here, has to get back to the team. Vitaber can't lane things up, but Invictus just walks in the room to high noons down Silvertail's. I'd say honestly a worthwhile trade there to get that Ana out of the fight, but we've lost Tanpy as well. The rotate back to the point here from the Fish is Skycer. They're taking a decent amount of damage there on the high ground from Frosty and Transflect again, just running into this point. Your attack field does come out here. Fish using that shield, trying to keep the team alive for just a couple seconds longer here. But that will be a point flip now for the Blahajs. As, I mean, a very interesting tactic there. So it tells the sacrificial lamb up on the top right there. Eventually gets an ultimate and eventually a fight win. Ooh. Yeah. That's a really nice nade from Silver Towels. It exchanged 1-for-1, but both supports here for the Fish are out of the fight here. Both are both DPS for the Blahajs. So still a very back and forth affair here. Spike falling very low, has the block. The point, not quite flipping just yet, but Tempe has the Blizzard. They get the Nano over onto Spike to keep the hazard in this fight, in this engagement. But Fish just 1 second away from Transflict being there to give him a little bit of health. But honestly, the exchange for the Nano there on a Spike, not really worth the use of the Blizzard. We do see Tempe swapping though off that May, so probably a kind of an ult and trade there, ult and swap. But yeah, so Silvertail's trying to up another anti-nade, does land on 2 members, and now Biggie Stretch popping down their orbital array forces both supports in awkward position into a fight against Spike in the small room, and Victus trying to find one for the troubles, but the high noon pops. Maybe just trying to get a quick reload off, but will fall to Spike eventually now, and the point does equalize, favor to Blahajs now, and they still have some decent almost to work with here. Frosty and Traffic having these supports for the Fish finally online for the last fight and point. Transflect can't use the beat as well. 4% away from that one. Skyster the reflect killing a Frosty. Both supports dead here. Now Blahajs continue to move forward here. Spike got the critical hits there with that downpour. Locking down the Sigma, locking down Lucio. Can't build up those last couple percentages of the support ultimates. And we're going to have the .1 going to the Blahajs after a good start from the Fish, but great adaptations from the Blahajs. We can go back into kind of a pre-game discussion here. Of course, Blahajs looking very strong in their first game, taking a 3-1 victory against Ishikawa Izanagi's. And we saw the Izanagi's come out and look like a really dominant team just yesterday in their latest match in Week 2. So potentially the Blahajs just are that much better than potentially the rest of the league so far. I'm interested to see how this match kind of continues out here, especially with Swedish Fish trying to bounce back, you know? I guess with that being said, I'll fill the void while you're figuring this one out. Walking over on the point, we do still have Fish on the Ramattra here. A swap off of that Sigma, off that Reinhardt. A Spike just putting in too much pressure right now on this Hazard. Transflect caught out here by Void Fiber in the back line. It's going to be 1-for-1 exchange here over on towards the supports, however. Wall, not quite going to land it from tank, but he does get Spike in awkward position, though. Spike trying to get back. Spike going in very deep, very aggressively here. Might get punished for this. But actually, no, it's going to be the fallout from the team. It's going to be simply too good, as Invictus has fallen. A lot of low members on both these sides here. Fish and Spike just having a block off there in main. But Transflect turns the fight only to meet Void Fiber once again on the Venture. And we're seeing as Void Fiber and Spike, there's a dynamic duel here on this divey look. You gotta think the really good synergy here between the Venture as well as the Hazard. Just a very strong dive, especially going into a Cassidy, into a, I guess at that point in May. Looking very good so far. Are you back online here?
I believe I am fixed now. I do see my levels going up. Yeah, like I was kind of talking about this. I think I was probably muted, but the Blahajs have to be playing a lot more fast play for those really quick engages with the Hazard and the Venture. They've looked really clean so far, just trying to get that coordination. Fish's team has been trying to stabilize a little bit more during those first hits. If they're able to survive that initial hit, they should win the brawl in the long fights.
You see what happens here. Voidpark goes in deep, and AT lands over on towards Fish, but Invictus getting jumped in the backline here. The Ops have found him on the sideline. Downpour comes on in, and just the ultimates. Yeah, the Tectonic Shock paired with the Downpour, a very difficult combo to survive through with no support ultimates there. Frosty did use Casino Rush, but just was enough to sustain through that one. And yes, chat, I do know it's pronounced Blahajs, but I know that Warper now prefers Blahajs, so I'll go in with him. I'll let him know. So we'll say this is the English Blahajs. There's no Swedish characters or anything in this one.
The Venture from Void Fibers looked really good so far. Now we're close to another Nano. I'm curious who they're going to put that on. I would honestly just throw this on Void Fiber, how much value he's been getting.
We do have another nice nade there from Sotel's forcing out an early Suzu from Frosty. And now the blade from Skycer to finalize the fight in the small little room here. Going to be just enough. Biggie Stretch trying to 1v1 a turret here and might lose, has to play around the little building there to get out their life. But still, a very cheap fight there, only having to invest the blade to maintain point control. Really nothing for the Swedish Fish to contest with here, at least right away.
Yeah, I mean, having all these ults here, both support ults are huge here. We'll see if Fish's team is able to stabilize these.
I need to write down main here. Biggest Stretch taken down, so down that Juno, but it's going to be 1-for-1 on the Ajax from Transflect. Still, both supports for both teams are down with Molten on the point. A good amount of spacing gained here, but Spike and Voidfire once again, this dynamic duo on the Venture, on the Hazard. Simply too much, and Invictus can't get back to the point. Zoned out there by Skycer. And the Blahajs are going to take a pretty dominant 2-0 win there on Nepal in the Hazard/Venture composition that they've been looking pretty good on so far this season.
Yeah, the rookies from the Blahajs look really good. Biggie Stretch, Void Fiber, and Spike have all looked great. Very coordinated, too. So Swedish Fish really have to have an answer here. We'll see if they can find something going into this next map. But yeah, it's looking really good so far for the Blahajs. So we're going to go into a short break here, actually. I'm going to try to see if I can figure out what's going on with my mic. But yeah, we'll be back shortly. Stay tuned, everyone. Hello? Okay, wait. Maybe it doesn't work. It's so weird.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Overwatch Clash Season 7 Week 2 matchup between the Swedish Fish and the Reef Blahajs. I know I'll do it for you there, pal. You know we all mispronounce Blahaj. But the Blahaj taking our first map of Nepal in a 2-0 fashion, continuing their hot streak. We didn't really get too much of an intro to talk about their Week 1 games here, Paninii. And, the Blahaj is taking a fairly dominant 3-1 win against the Izanagi last week. The Swedish Fish falling to Kotai, or the Cody 3-1. So both these teams kind of trying to get hot here, especially the Swedish Fish. We were talking yesterday on the cast, me and Corey, about falling down 0-2 in a season of only 8 weeks is a really tough hill to climb out of. You haven't had an easy schedule at all being the Swedish Fish, and also some fairly unfortunate circumstances with Fish not being there last week. Came down with a virus, but appears to have bounced back and recovered from that one. Now Shoreline Pie not being present for tonight's match as well, being a ringer. So definitely some tough cards to be dealt here early, but got to bounce back and kind of make some adaptations here. We're seeing the Blahaj on this Hazard, on this Venture composition, looking really strong so far.
Yeah, I believe you guys can hear me. Let me know in chat if you can't. I do see my levels are starting to go up when I'm speaking, so I think that's good. But yeah, like you said, it's kind of tough to have those ringers, having Fish out last week and having Shoreline Pound out this week. But I do think that both the ringers they've had have actually been pretty decent. Okay, I'm quiet. I can turn myself up, actually. There we go. I think that's a little bit better. Might still be a little bit quiet. Maybe if I'm closer to the mic, that'll help. Okay, so okay, they want us to go in map. I was gonna talk a little bit more about it, but we have a little bit.
We have time in the map to talk about it. Keep going.
Yeah, but yeah, it is really rough. It is a really tough schedule here because I think the Blahajs looked really good. Their week 1 against the Izanagi, and Izanagi, after beating the Swagasaurus squad in a very close 3-2 battle, it's like both of those teams could be really good. So the Blahajs being able to get a really good week 1 win against definitely a top half team, I think is a really good sign for them going ahead. I think the Blahajs could be pretty high up by the end of the season. I guess we'll see how they perform throughout the season. War is coming in for Biggie's stretch. He's currently showing this brig. This Ana brig, I think, is really good. I know he also plays a lot of Lucio, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them go Kiri Lucio or something here too, if they are going to play this dive. Yeah, both teams playing a comp that I feel like makes a lot of sense for them. Invictus on his signature Ash.
Yeah, but on the attack is definitely interesting. Hopefully I can make it work with the sight lines. But going in here as well, the Blahajs last week taking a 2-0 on control, but also coming to a 4-3 victory on Ambani. So a much closer look apparently on this map as compared to the other ones. So the Fish potentially doing a bit of homework there, knowing that Koth is a very strong suit of the Blahaj. And of course, it plays really well with their Hazard, with their Venture composition. But now this one, they got to play a little differently here with the D.Va and the Ashe on those respective heroes. And now kind of Fish on one of his more signature tanks here on the Winston. It's having to deal with a D.Va kind of counterplay here, but can play this slow, play this smart, and just let Invictus pop off on the Ashe.
Yeah, playing this slower. The big stickies come out. Spike gets demeched early there, actually. Fish is also very low. Fish gets taken down, so it's a tank for a tank.
It is a tank for a tank here. Spike still alive, though, building towards that mech once again. Frosty trying to land potentially another nade, but the stickies just only finding War Shield there. I mean, Fish will be back, but Spike has mech in about 15. We'll probably have it before the fight really breaks out. Unless they go super quick here. Fish jumps in right now. Going to have a couple seconds of no mech, but Spike 90% of that one going to get just in time. But a bit of space is gained here, though, for the Fish, considering the D.Va wasn't there to really back him up. And Invictus over onto his flank in the small little left room. They'll put some pressure over on the support. Spike forced to drop as well. Skies are looking to mark the Ashe, but a lot of damage put onto this back line. Void Fiber seeing me the target there. Spike close to losing the mech once again, but gets out with those rocket boosters at just the right time. And Frosty, in fact, is the one to fall. Skycer goes down Main Street and gets that kill. But there's so much low health bars on the side of Blahaj. Swordtail's using the nano boost, but it's just on a Spike. And they're the only remaining member on the team. Just trying to potentially build up towards a bomb maybe, but it's going to get caught out by Tanipy. Tanipy looking for the squish as well. Not quite going to get it, but there will be point A. Going the way of the Fish, and just a desperation now from Swordtails. Not quite find the ground they wanted there.
I would have really liked to see the Blahajs play a little bit slower there. They were really close to that nano. If they would have just given up that high ground and dropped, they could have re-engaged with that nano. I think that could have been a really good win condition for them. But ultimately, getting all that pressure so early is huge for the Fish, able to set up that space. And then now they are looking to get even more space off that too. I think a big part of this map is going to come down to how much space Fish can get, how much Spike can deny here. Going into this next fight, we do have a lot of ults right around the corner here. Big one I'm looking at is this Nano from Frosty.
Yeah, no Nano now for Skyster's Blade as well. Kind of a naked Blade in 2025. Hate to see that one, but good Dynamite will land there from Voidfire. But a lot of low health bars once again as Tenpy lands some pretty nice sticky grenades up there. Spike again trying to deny this little left room, but gets kind of caught out here. Has to get back to the team and use those very important cooldowns for maintaining the space. And Fish now can jump up as a big nade, but sadly there wasn't the dive in time. Skyster 1 HP, trying to retreat back to the help of the squad, but Bob from both these teams is exchanged, but the Bob from Victus is really nowhere to be found. Stuck over by the Elephant, but the kills are here for both teams. So once again, Spike very low. I mean, Spike gets the kill.
Oh, here's a bomb too. He's gonna be able to zone off Invictus and then just have bomb if he needs to. Spike able to get what, 4 kills that fight?
Yeah, able to get 4 kills and
the bomb and the baby
Spike
headshot.
runs into the interesting strategy. Can't see it pays off for Transplant next time, but
That's brutal.
I mean,
They're using the Nano and using that Bob. Don't really get any value off of that off a lost fight. Now we have Nano Blade, and Silvertoll's already building another Nano. Not a whole lot these Fish can do to stabilize that Nano Blade. They can rally it, but the Nano Blade should be able to still get kills through the rally. So we'll see how the Fish are gonna opt to play this fight. They might honestly just try to play a dry fight, save those ults up for their next fight.
CK get early picked on a Voidfire. It's good start, potentially a turnable affair here, but Skyster using the Blade. We're gonna Transplant using the Ride, try and save it off, but it will not be enough. The duplicate here from Tanpy as well, but the Ride from Wards keeps the team alive through Fish's pressure on this Primal Rage. And you're gonna lose that over on towards that mech here from Tanpy, looking for maybe another bomb kill, looking for a squish, but not gonna get it, and Fish falls in the front line as well. So they instead opt to use 3 ultimates there in exchange for 4, or exchange for 3 on the other side, but the defenders continue to hold.
Yeah, that just usually favors the defense whenever there's even ultimate trades, because if you're attacking, you need to use ultimates to get this high ground. They need more ults than the Blahajs to be able to get this space here. Going into next fight, I guess the next one that's going to come up probably is going to be this Nano from Frosty. So if they play slow, just build that Nano. I could see that really opening the fight up. But on the other side, Voidfiber and Spike are both very close to their ults too.
Yeah, some good stickies though early from Tanpy. Also giving his Silvertails and War a bit more charge here. Skyster kind of caught out over on towards the Rhino, but gonna get that Mega, and in fact Fish will be the one to fall. Goes out of the bubble a little too far there, and they're gonna be down that tank for the foreseeable future now. I just can't give any more picks as Voidfiber trying to light him up. Does get Invictus pretty low, but Invictus responds, and still Fish go find swap off the Winston over onto the D.Va. No longer opting to play for that counter comp.
The
nice here. It's over already.
The Blahajs are just playing so clean with these engages. They're very coordinated. I know Spike's a very big calmer, so playing around these nanos and these hits are very big. Voidfiber just cleaning up the backline too.
Yeah, Fish still having just lose out on that mech here and opting not to jump off the cliff here, going for a bit of a reset and spawn. But yeah, go ahead.
I do really like the D.Va swap. Playing Winston into that is just really hard. There's 2 things that can beep you off high ground, the whip shot and the coach gun. You have that D.Va who could also really fly back and just burn you with those micro missiles. So it is really tough to play Winston into the comp that the Blahajs are running, so I like the D.Va swap a little bit more mobility and a little bit more damage mitigation from that DM. Able to eat the bubbles, or the nades too when they come in.
If only D.Va could eat Winston Bubble, even more counters. Just we hate the monkey if we play D.Va, but now going at the Bob to open things up. The sleep gonna get DM'd by Spike. A good play from the D.Va of the Blahaj. And yeah, the kills are here. They're gonna have a Fish with the nano boost, but the Bobs are gonna be exchanged here eventually. 2 D.Vas on point. Tanpy with the bomb. Doesn't find anything, but the bomb from Spike over on the point. Lands on the high ground. More spacing, I suppose, but yeah, now 3 seconds left in the time bank. I don't think anybody has a touch here for the Swedish Fish. And the Blahaj will hold a much better defense than their previous week against the Izanagi. Only get 1.5 points here now. Blahaj in a great spot to go up 2-0 in the series early.
It's crazy how clean the Blahaj, I guess. I'll say it like you do. It's crazy how clean they've been with these engages.
We know it's Blahaj, but War gets mad if you say it wrong.
We know.
He wants it to be pronounced Blahaj, so yeah.
like even without fights, they're just winning off of big like 4-man nades from Silvertalls, and then being super coordinated. Like I said, Spike being able to go in, Skycer being able to go in and get so much value into those like 4-man antis. Even with the on a, I believe it was a nerf recently where it does less damage, they're still able to get really big value just with those nades. So winning fights off of that means you can get that ultimate advantage. Don't have to use ults to open up those fights. So win fights with nades, and then you have that blade saved up later on when you need it. I don't know if they're going to stay on this Venture here. I know Void Fiber does like Venture, but I think it is really tricky to play in the dive here. It would be very fun. I would like to see it, because it's got very unorthodox, but we'll see if they stick to it. I know they definitely could just swap back to Ashe if they wanted to, but we do see Fish going back to that Winston, though, so we'll see if that plays well into Spike, if he's going to swap over to the D.Va, or if he's going to stay on this Winston and take the mirror.
I'm kind of surprised not to see tamping the Torbjorn. I think that's kind of a signature pick for them on this map, but sticking instead with this Echo here. Did find some decent stickies, before fights really broke out, but they're just sad it wasn't a follow-up there, as Fish didn't really have a dive partner on the DPS, so they just couldn't really follow up on this damage. But we'll see how they decide to play here on defense. Skycer dashes into a set of sticky grenades there. But
oh, Void Fiber on the flank.
Yeah, here comes the dig as well. Oh, that's a fantastic little crunch there. However, still 2 for 2. Both supports are gone right now for the Swedish Fish, but War taken down here. So despite a really well-coordinated play there up on the high ground, I don't think that's going to be a cap, as Void Fiber is trying to 1v2 over on the point. Silvertalls maybe get a nade kill, but Fish is running away down Main Street.
These trades ultimately do favor the attacking team, though. Their spawns are so much closer, they could take this high ground. It's exactly what they do is they force Invictus off the high ground, but Spike is super low, has to back up.
Yeah, then once Spike has to kind of back up there, now Fish can get healed up with Frosty down main. They still have control of this high ground right now. Supports are on low ground for the Swedish Fish, but both Winston's going to exchange positions here. Big burn on the back line. Kind of leaving Spike and Skycer alone on point here for a couple seconds as Skycer flying low but getting healed up. But Void Fiber is going to be first to fall. Fish 8-8 has to jump up to the high ground, placed in that bubble, just tries to stay alive for a couple seconds, but they will keep Fish alive. Great plays there from Frosty and Transflex as well. Fish keeps up alive for just a couple more seconds, and now the supports are going to get heavily staggered here for the Blahajs. And a great start for the defense here for a Swedish Fish. Now about 2 minutes off the time bank and some ults building up.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more ults coming up here for the Fish, but this nano from Silvertalls might be all they need to open it up. A lot of times just breaking through that first high ground on Numbani, you can do that with just a nano. But Fish does have a lot of ults to be able to answer that if they want to use them on this fight.
So they decided to approach this here. They nano Spike up on this high ground, potentially looking for it. Silvertalls down main, eats another dynamite from Invictus, having a much better showing here on the defense. Not going to use the nano quite yet here from Frosty. Fish is left in the back line, and Frosty opting to hold on to this nano here as Fish goes deep into the side room with the Primal Rage, beating around Silvertalls, and War just simply does not have the healing presence to keep the support friend alive, and now both supports gone for the Blahajs. Do they have any contesters here over on towards the point? And Invictus running back from spawn with a Bob. Fish trying to get there for one last second contest. They will get the Bob there on point just now, but Bob is still on point, still contesting Spike so low inside the bubble. Has Primal Rage to try to stay alive here. Transflect just trying to stay in LOS of Frosty right now. Spike slipped in the sideline of the Bob. Now Tectonic Shock in the background of Frosty. It's just playing the car. They can't leave point for a second here, being the Swedish Fish. The blade from Skycer to try finish off, but 2 quick kills here. Skycer has to clutch up here. Transflect with the rally on point. Void Fire falling so low, has to dig away. Transflect 1 HP, but inside Fish's bubble, it's going to be enough. And the Fish survive all this chaos. How does Winston just survive all of that and keep the point maintained? A great play from the captain.
Fish should have died like 3 or 4 times that fight, with the supports just doing so well and keeping him alive. Fish just barely getting that bubble off in times really keeps him alive there. They did give up 2 ticks, but still holding on this first point. No ults for either side. Silvertall's 61% to his ults. If he can build that quickly, that could be huge.
Fish looking to dive in on towards Void Fiber, knowing they don't have the dig anymore. A dynamite onto both DPS. Spike loses out on that mech, and Invictus forced to low ground, but they've already found Void Fiber. This might just be a full hold here. Spike so low, but being pumped full of packs, full of honor bullets. It's just not enough. And Skyster on the high ground. 0.7 second, no touching is there. And Swedish Fish pull off a great defense on Nimbani A, and we're tied up 1-1.
Yeah, we know Fish really likes those brawl tanks, but sometimes we forget that his Winston is still like super good, like able to just survive so long, play spacing really well, and just get those ultimates up really quickly.
Yeah, and again, we just got to keep talking about the just clutch play here from the entire squad of the Fish. 96.2% on the first point of Bonnie there. And yeah, great start so far for both these teams. 1-1 going into their map 3, which obviously what is an size break. Don't go anywhere. Overwatch Clash continues after this. And welcome back, everybody, to the Overwatch Clash Season 7 Week 2 matchup between the Barrier Reef Blahajs and the Swedish Fish. We had the Swedish Fish kind of having a meandering offense, but then a fantastic stalwart defense here on Nimbani. Tire series up 1-1. We're now going into Watchpoint Gibraltar, the selection of the Blahajs here. And we're talking the break. We don't really know why we take them here because we saw the dive mirror on Nimbani looking really good for the Swedish Fish, but we're speculating potentially, a hazard selection here again from Spike, but the Venture having, again, probably a little more trouble here. So Voidfire are going to play in the Ash. We're thinking, maybe a flatter map, maybe a Route 66 could look a little bit better, or going to just a push or a flashpoint map. But we'll have to see what the Blahajs are cooking here on their defense first.
Yeah, they are showing that comp that's very similar to what they were running on Nimbani. But I was saying during the break too, I wouldn't be surprised to see them go Hazard again. First map they played a lot of Hazard. I think Hazard does work really well, getting these high grounds, getting those really fast hits onto the back line. But yeah, they are running the Winston here. For the defense, last map it looked pretty good, like we were kind of saying. Defense looked pretty good for the Blahajs, but we'll see if they swap anything over on the attack. I could see them swapping back over and seeing if maybe they could find something that breaks through a little bit easier here.
Good amount of good 15% charge there for Silver Tiles on that nade out of the spawn door, but kind of still pushing cart forward a little bit here. They're playing more for the brawl on cart with 10p on this Reaper, wanting the Winston to drop. Maybe they're expecting a Venture pick. But they're gonna go on the point. Sword Tiles, but a nice 3-man anti-nade on top of that. The dive is successful, and the kills are here. Fish trying to get back to spawn without losing the mech, but can get slept. Is the ante going to be there in time? It will, and Fish cannot get back and spawn. I'm going to lose out on that mech and I'll probably go for a quick swap. Maybe matches the Winston here, but going to stay on this D.Va.
I think you have to be playing this D.Va because the impact the nades have been getting, you have to at least have that option to be able to eat them. Another nade just coming out of spawn.
What's that nade and sleep used? I wanted to see Fish go up there, you know?
Yeah, knowing those cooldowns are out, you can really capitalize off that since there's such a long cooldown between nade and sleep.
Frosty on break just running down cart by themselves and gets picked up by Skycer and Spike just dropping down a cart. There seems to be a bit of confuzzling, a bit of confusion here for Swedish Fish so far in the attack.
Yeah, I'm really it's really interesting to watch the support line being different. The Ana plays a lot more with those nades, but the Juno has those rings to try to advance here. It's exactly what they do, but they just aren't getting enough coordination on those dives from Fish.
I mean, they finally get the cart moving in his underpass here, but a nanoed Spike is there to meet him close to the primal range that they even needed, but doesn't look like it as Skycer and Spike continue to clean up this cart in the underpass here. Just a couple meters gained, and I'll say here from Fish here, scrims, of course, gotta be nice, but yeah, just a nano there onto Spike is gonna be enough for this fight victory, and really still no answers right now. Leaving the high ground, basically uncontested. Okay, finally, Tampy on the Genji. I like that pick to go up, put the pressure on the high ground.
The full swaps here is kind of rough here for the Fish. They are losing all those ultimates. With a minute and 50 seconds left, there's also no guarantee that you are going to build these ultimates. We kind of saw that in the first map when they were just making so many swaps, they weren't able to get any ults to build off of. There's 3, and then maybe a mid-fight, War's going to get his too for the Blahajs.
Frosty does hit the sleep, but the cooldown gone. Skycer pops that blade instantly. And Bob just slides his way to the cart despite Fish trying to go in for the body block. Not sure how that really worked. Just momentum, I suppose. We'll get the contest on cart, and Fish can lose out on the mech. Just trying to die here, but they are not giving Fish the sweet release of death so far. The smaller room, Transflex stuck down here as well.
Yeah, with a minute
down, but not enough.
Already down to a minute left. We could be getting very close to this last fight. And like I kind of mentioned earlier, Fish also makes this swap. The only ult that I think they even have a chance of building this next fight is Paninnii's Blade. Might be able to get value here, but into the Primal and into this rally could be really rough to try to get value with the Blade.
Yeah, I do have Tampy going underneath to push this cart forward here, but high ground is maintained by Swedish Fish, trying to keep him back for a couple seconds. Spike dives in aggressively, has Primal Rage. Should they decide to pop up, do just that. Starting a monkey boxing ring down there in the bottom left. Just pelting Fish with their fists, but 1 HP does Fish survive, trying to get as many packs as they can, but Transflect has fallen in the chaos. Now there's just 18 seconds left. Frosty has Nano in 1, however, could get that over to Fish for less than contest here. Frosty cannot fall here. Void Fiber, the target of the dive here from Fish, has to get to the cart. 7 seconds remaining. Is going to get on that Void Fiber, gain the pocket there from War and Silver Tiles in the server room. Then Bob can't touch. And you know, we're questioning the Nambani pick, but apparently the Blahajs know way more than we do, as they have a great defense there on A, and the Fish really, it's lost for answers there.
I think it's really tough because I think they just couldn't. The Fish just took way too long to decide what they wanted to run. They end up running exactly what they ran on New Bonnie that worked really well. I think the swap just came in too late. When there's only like a minute and 50 seconds left, when you make those swaps, it's really hard to get your footing going. And then the ults were just too strong here for the Blahajs. They weren't able to find anything to break through that. So unfortunately for the Fish, they are going to get full hold on Gibraltar, but we might be able to see a fuller hold maybe. It's definitely going to be tough, though. Definitely going to be a tall order. Void Fiber going onto this venture again. Liked how it worked on Numbani last time, so we'll see if they are able to get breakthrough. They did get full held on Numbani, so...
I said liked how it worked on Numbani attack and gain full held. They're playing Ash on the defense, but hey, you know what? If Flame's going to make it work, it's going to be Void Fiber. We've seen a very good play from Venture from them so far, but
we see
it's going to be a tall order here.
Completely different look from the Fish than they were running on their first defense. They run the Cass and the Torb, playing a lot more bunkery, try to absorb that dive a little bit better and just get the value in the long term. But I think that's really tough to do. When you're watching how clean these dives have been from the Blahajs, it's going to be really hard to be able to stabilize with how fast those hits have been coming in.
Wi-Fi with a bit of sim TP over, but back over on towards this venture. Cart start moving here from Spike. Void putting in some pressure up on this high ground. Tampy's turret already taken down, allowing Spike to potentially jump on the high ground should they want to, but doesn't look like they want to do that just yet. Fish has to drop down to contest this cart, but the follow-up is there over on the mech, and Fish falling so low has to get this nade in from Frosty to keep himself alive. Cart not moving, however. Void Fiber trying to get out with their life here. Looks like they will do just that. Might get set for a flank here. You don't really know where this venture is, and yeah, Void Fiber will continue to push this cart forward. Spike 1 HP, however, is just melted down on the cart. As the supports are just zoned right now, and Vic just looking for a bit of a flank here on the bridge. Just pops his head out for a second there, taking down Skycer now, and Victus melting down the enemy health bars on the Cassidy. And 1 minute off the bank already here. The Fish have to do that about, 3 or 4 more times, but a good start for him on the defense.
Yeah, Spike mirroring the Diva, I really like that a lot more. Puts a little bit more pressure onto this backline here. Nade comes out, catches 3. Follow-up, not quite there from Spike. Void Fiber comes in, they both come in a little bit late. And they are going to reset here. Both Nanos have the Nanos, though, so maybe they were just playing for these Nano engage.
Yeah, the cart is moving here. Fish has to drop to get the contest on in. If you have the Nano, should they fall too low? Silvertail's down, can't use the Nano. And Vicious is way behind enemy lines, trying to get a high noon off for a reload. But they're going to punish over on towards the Cassius. So now 4-on-4 over on towards this cart. Skycer caught over on towards the corner here. Void Fiber just pelting in those rocks from the side.
And they go for the...
has this Nano, but they don't use it. Fish loses the mech here, looking for a bomb on cart over on towards War, but Tampy shut down in the middle of that bone core. Spike 1 HP back over on towards the cart, doesn't have bombs, so they need it for a recontest. However, Fish loses the mech very quickly here. Vicious running back towards cart, has to slide on in, but is caught out by this bash from the Brigitte. And that will be the Blahajs going up 2-1 in the series after a great showing on Nabana, and that will be my last map as well in the cast because I have the game in 4 minutes. So I'll leave it up to you, Paninii. This is all you from this point forward here.
I forgot about that.
Home.
But yeah, like we kind of mentioned going into that, like that coordination took a while for them to get it set up, but once they got that going, able to get so much space. Once you give it that car wash as a defending team, you have to drop, and that kind of makes some very messy rotations there. That's kind of exactly what we saw happen to the Fish there. Is just caught awkward a little bit, and the ults were out for the Blahajs able to find the kills there. But yeah, we are gonna go into another map break here again, if I can get this working.
Bye,
there
chat.
we go. Bye, Booty. Tune in. I believe it's gonna be on the second channel. The Cody's versus the
Basement Dwellers.
Basement Dwellers, yes. Okay. Yeah, we'll be back shortly. Stay tuned, guys.
And welcome back, everybody. War has taken over the broadcast, and I'm having the honor, the pleasure, the privilege to cast over my favorite team, the Reef Blahajs, against the Swedish Fish. I'm on the desk. Joined alongside me is the wonderful, the excellent, and the prod genius himself, Panini.
I,
How's it
I,
going?
I wouldn't say prod genius. Pretty good. We'll just jump straight into it here. It's been pretty back and forth here. After a really close Numbani, we saw just the Blahajs look really dominant going into Coliseo here. End game. There it is. So what are you expecting the teams to run here? I know you probably have an idea for what you're gonna run, but I really like the Hazard you guys started out with. The Hazard Venture. I think that looked really good from your team. I'd love to see you start out or keep playing that here.
Here's the thing, Paninii. Here's the thing. You gotta understand when it comes to the Blahajs, it's all about keeping the vibes high. It's all about keeping the energy high. Like right now, it's the start of the season. It's early season. We're trying to have some fun. We're trying to be creative. We're trying to do whatever, you know. So I want us every single map not to necessarily not try, but I want us to challenge ourselves. You know.
There's no shot.
No
shot. We have Silver Talls on Lucio.
Yeah, no. So
there's no shot.
We're trying some unique things. We talked about this in
and we're getting this POV.
We're like, yo, let's try out some Juno Lucio with Biggie Stretch on the Juno. And I mean, as you saw, Panini, from our first map of Nepal, like Biggie Stretch on Juno, chills.
Yeah. The Soul Reed playing the Orisa here is going to do very well into Fish's or playing the Zarya into Fish's Orisa is going to do very good here. I expect Spike to get a ton of value here. See him playing very slow, trying to get this charge built up. Fish, on the other hand, I think is just looking for his combos to try to find someone to run in on.
Yeah, and it looks like early sort of push in here from the Blahajs, trying to take early progression on the card. The Zarya matchup is going to be a lot more favorable into that Orisa, and Spike's actually going to find that first kill in the fight, but drops dangerously low, needs to get that stabilization, and needs to build up the bubbles. Luckily, on this team, though, of Blahajs, you have two very good targets for the bubbles. You have the Venture, who likes to go for those digs in, and also Sojourn. If pressure comes on Sojourn, easy target for a bubble to sort of, gain some more energy, gain some more charge. As the Blahajs just keep getting pick after pick here, cleans up Fish as well.
I'm making a prediction that Fish is immediately going to go Winston. Yeah, that's exactly what we see. It's so hard to play into that, so I was expecting him to immediately swap whenever he died. Winston is really good. The backline is very mobile on the side of the Blowhigh, so I'm kind of curious who he's going to look to go on. Maybe either Skycer or Silvertall's here, but I think it's definitely a lot better than playing the Orisa. Void Fiber forced out, but the checkpoint is still rolling here. I think they are going to get checkpoint. 87% to this graph here could be huge in this fight.
Yeah, but big pressure comes in. Fish already applying some towards the back line, pushing back Biggie Stretch and kind of splitting up the team, but Void Fiber is actually going to be the first one to get a kill. Unburrows out from the ground, catches Tanic B, and now a call for a green light to go into this fight there. Blahajs are up in numbers, 5-4. But it looks like it's going to be...
The grab hits the back line. 3K. Spike getting so much value there. Biggie Stretch traded out on the other side, but losing both of your supports and your Sojourn is definitely a lot worse for the Fish's team here. Fish also falls late. I mean, not a whole lot you can do there. They do trade the grab for that orbital strike. Both ults are very impactful, so I don't think that's a terrible trade for either team, but now looking at these 4 ults coming out from the Blahajs, I don't even know, especially after that late swap onto the Curie, what ults are going to be available, nor what they're going to be looking for here, but just aggression comes out early. OC Orbital Strike comes out, gets so much damage pressure put out, not finding the kills yet, though. They do find Fish very late in that fight. Orbital Strike about a second late, a second left on the, for the time, but managing to find the kill, looking for more. Slow Orb catches Frosty, and just such a mess here. Are we looking at a full cap here?
Of course. I mean, who do you think we are? Like, we'd be remiss without full capping on Coliseo. So real.
The touch comes out, but not a whole lot more they can do. The beat is huge. Just such a scrappy fight there, but the ult's in favor of the Blowhighs. What was that? Like a 3-minute.
That last map.
That was one of the fastest.
8 seconds is kind of crazy, by the
one
way.
of the fastest caps
like
I've seen ever, yeah.
times.
Literally. Let's see.
Oh,
Good. Escort. Watch point.
Yeah, but the Blahajs obviously got a bit caught up on Numbani, but managing to take home this series
Push.
3-1. And now I gotta ask you, Panini, who do you think on this team should be our match MVP?
I know who my match MVP is. I'm trying to decide if I want it to be like a hot take, you know, maybe someone that slept on, or if I just want to pick like the person that I think did kind of the heavy lifting here. I do want to lead off with everyone in the Blowhighs. I think did great. Let me get my finish my thing here real quick. BRB or SW, BRB SWF victory screen. There we go. I think like the rookies both. Oh, that is not the right team.
We have 3 rookies. Which one?
Your main lineup ones, the ones that are always in. Spike and Void Fiber, I think did very well. You know what? I was gonna say Silvertalls with those nades, but I'm gonna make it easy. I'm just gonna give it to Spike. I know the tanks get all the love, but just because I don't know if he's gotten a match MVP so far, we'll give it to him. Where are you? But like, I definitely wanted to highlight those 3. I think were huge here. Also Skycer, I think, especially for his SR. I think he's been playing so well this season. I think everyone on the Blowhighs are good.
Biggie Stretch this
Biggie Stretch.
series. Only person, yo. I just want to say, when Biggie Stretch is in, it seems like the other team gets 0%. That's all
Biggie
I
Stretch
say.
didn't win a map. Like that's true. Like
didn't
the
lose a map,
first and the lat.
yes.
Okay, wait. So who is? Which one is
Dude,
Spike?
like-
Is he Tommy?
Oh, he's the It's Spike Overwatch. It's
Oh, I'm
Spike
in streamer
OW.
mode. I'm
Yeah,
assuming it's this
like,
one.
Log in. Yeah, that one. Welcome,
Hello.
Spike. You've been stolen. Oh my
Hey.
gosh, what's it like playing
Oh
on
my
the
gosh.
Blahajs?
It's amazing.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy.
It was just like the coordination, everything, so cohesive.
Let
It's
me see if I can-
amazing.
Let me see if I can get this.
gotta-
First time I'm using the victory screen here. So, tell me about the vibe so far. I've heard you're like a big vibe team.
Oh yeah, I think like everyone meshes really well with each other, and like our like top hero pools really play well into each other. Cause I like the dive characters a lot, and we have Void who plays Venture, so like he's always there, and then Skycer on the Genji always there as well. It's just perfect.
Yeah, I think for I guess you're 6, but Skycer and then War and Biggie Stretch I think are very good value for their SRs.
Oh, 100%.
So coming off of that really tough Numbani, how did you guys like keep your heads up going into Gibraltar? I know it's like another dive map, so we were kind of questioning like after trying to play dive, it didn't work as well. Like, what were you guys like talking about? What were your plan going into Watchpoint Gibraltar for map 3?
I think honestly we knew that we were better than them on dive. I think Numbani we kind of just messed up. We overcommitted on one fight and didn't get the value that we wanted, so it kind of just lost the map. And I mean, after our strong defense, we kind of figured it was just a fluke, and it was.
Yeah.
And Spike, you're a rookie this season, I know. So talk to me a
Yeah.
little bit about like what's been your impression of the league thus far.
I've loved it. So far, like the people that got me into it were like Zinth and Ruben, Lagunes, and Milo. Cause I know Ruben and Milo like IRL, cause I'm from Minnesota, and they told me to come play this, and I've had a lot of fun so far. I mean, it's only been 2 games, but I'm loving it.
I really thought that Ruben was gonna end up drafting you. It was gonna be like you, Ruben, Milo. That was
Yeah,
my
got
mock
beef with
draft.
him.
Damn. What
I got
else?
more
Let me-
questions, of
yeah, keep
course.
going.
I
Keep
always
going with
got more
questions if you have
So,
any.
Spike, talk
perfect.
to me about. I know you have a teammate called Skycer who was, saying he was throwing on Watchpoint Gibraltar for having 4 deaths. Is that true or false information? I just need to know.
I think that's false, because like he
Okay.
says, it keeps the team morale up, because as long as you don't have as many deaths as him, you're doing well.
Okay, true. That's a good argument. That's a good argument.
He does it on purpose to keep team morale high.
I'm looking at your schedule for the rest of the season. I think honestly it looks pretty good. What's your opinion on what the ceiling for this team is? Already starting off the season with a clean 2-0.
I think the ceiling's winning the whole thing.
Damn, heard it here first, guys. I agree. I think your team is very good, especially with like how coordinated you guys are playing. Like those silver tall nades, setting up those like the Genji Winston dives. Those are really clean. So if you play with that coordination, it's gonna be tough to stop you guys.
I hope so.
I mean, I got El Clasico. I don't know if you have anything else for though.
What's your favorite thing about Blaha?
Ooh, the vibes, 100%.
Oh my gosh, Blaha.
Everyone gets along with each other. It's amazing.
Okay, you're good.
I think that's I
Alright.
think that's one of the biggest things they're trying to do. No, I'm gonna ask you El
Oh, okay,
Clasico.
okay, okay.
Okay, last question. If you were not named match MVP, who on your team would you give it to and why?
Oh, Silver Talls.
Silvertalls. I was gonna say he was on my short list. I think he played really well today.
That pocket, I just felt like unkillable most of the time.
Yeah. But yeah, congratulations, both Spike for getting MVP and for the Barrier Reef Blowhighs. I think we've got a strong ceiling for the rest of the season. I am gonna go here. I am going to cast another game in less than an hour. Stay tuned or go jump over to Aurora Esports MN2. I believe right now the Keller Hall Basement Dwellers are playing the Codys, so go ahead and go watch that game. Other than that, thank you guys all for watching. Have a nice night, and we'll see you again very soon.
Bye bye.